prosperity, liberty, democracy. Our way of life. Super Earth, our home.
The crossover of our dreams is finally here. The ODSTs have arrived in Helldivers 2. As the Galactic War rages on, countless brave Helldivers have laid down their lives to protect managed democracy. The war has been a bloody one, and so the call was put out for more recruits, and that call was answered by a special unit within the Ministry of Defense. The ODSTs, or as they're known to the citizens of Super Earth, the Obedient Democracy Support Troopers, are apparently a fabled unit of the Ministry of Defense's military. So much so that every Super Earth citizen had them on their school lunchbox as kids. But now they face a new mission, one that undoubtedly will strike painfully close to home. Not only have they been enlisted to put down the bugs, the bots, and the Illuminate across the galaxy, but many have been deployed to the infamous city of New Alexandria, the crown jewel of the planet Seashell Beach, which finds itself under aggressive Illuminate invasion. The horrors the Helldivers experienced many moons ago during the war on Malevolent Creek, the Helljumpers are now about to experience tenfold in the streets of New Alexandria. So get your gear and get set for a combat drop to ensure that Super Earth's New Alexandria doesn't meet the same fate as Reach's. Now, hidden throughout this video are two codes. One code for the full Helldivers 2 game, and another code for a VC token to redeem the ODST Warbond, of course, both for free. But you gotta watch the whole video to try and find them. And speaking of gear, let's break down what the Ministry of Defense outfit the ODSTs with. The A9 Helljumper armor is the standard issue ODST armor distributed by the Ministry of Defense, named A9 after the iconic Alpha 9 ODST squad of whom the armor's original wearer was a part of. Yes, that's right, this is the ODST armor of one John Doherty, aka the Rookie, the legendary Lance Corporal who served the ODST with immense bravery and courage under fire. Completing the A9 Helljumper armor is the honoured heirloom cape, emblazoned with the Helljumper logo of the ODSTs. When its honourable wearer meets their untimely demise in the pursuit of managed democracy, the cape is passed down to their bravest child, possibly as a means of encouragement to follow in the heroic footsteps of their father and enlist. The Helljumpers come fit with a variety of bespoke weaponry, fit for a more covert style of spreading democracy, and none are trustier and arguably more iconic than the M6C SOCOM pistol. Complete with an integrated suppressor and compensator, laser light tactical module, and VN SLS V6E SmartLink scope, the SOCOM is the ultimate sidearm for enforcing peace quietly. Now, what's really cool about the SOCOM in Helldivers is that Arrowhead actually upheld a long-standing tradition among Bungie's games of the Magnums having Japanese kanji engraved into them. On the LAM, you can see the kanji symbols for freedom. Not only is this a subtle reminder, courtesy of Super Earth's Ministry of Defense, as to why you fight, but it's awesome that Arrowhead continued an old Bungie tradition that 343 all but abandoned. But the SOCOM is never complete without its younger, more aggressive brother, the M7S SMG, a 900 RPM PDW chambered in 5x23mm caseless ammunition, and dampened by a non-removable suppressor. The M7S is an extremely reliable bullet hose of an SMG, and is purpose-built to spread freedom to every corner of the galaxy. So, welcome to the first deployment of this video, and as you can see, my loadout is quite possibly the most iconic ODST adjacent loadout I could possibly have. We're rocking the full ODST gear along with the SMG and also the SOCOM. So, let's dive into New Alexandria and try and save it from the fate that it suffered in our universe. Right, welcome to the surface of New Alexandria, and as you can see, it's in much better condition than it was back in Reach, but not for long if we don't stop the Illuminate. Now, if you don't know anything about Helldivers lore, then, well, luckily you maybe came to the right channel. So the Illuminate are, in a very weird way, essentially Helldivers version of the Flood. They are the most like infectious out of all of them. I guess the Terminators kind of have some Flood elements as well, but the regular Illuminate, the kind of drones, if you will, like this guy over here, are very combat form-like. So, unlike in, obviously, the Halo universe, where we have to save New Alexandria from the Covenant, well, now we've got to save it from Helldivers' version of the Flood, which, I've got to say, is quite on brand. And I got to say also, real quick, this SMG is absolutely beautiful, man. It is absolutely beautiful. It sounds awesome. It looks awesome. Actually, using the optic like this just feels so strange in a cool way. Like, I don't know if I'd want that in a Halo game, but using it in a different kind of game just feels really cool. Man, you cannot tell me that the vibes of this game aren't absolutely perfectly fit for a Halo game. The fact that we never got that proposed ODST Helldivers game many years ago, the fact that that was pitched at V4-3 and turned down is insane to me. Because, man, look at this. Switching to the SOCOM as well. Oh, nope, that's the M60. Switching to the SOCOM, dude. Like, I know we've talked about this a lot before, but imagine if that tower was a Flood Spore tower, man. And this was like New Mombasa or something, and we were Alpha 9 sent in to clear the area, which we found out about, I think it was Operation Joint Monitor. Imagine that, but an actual game, dude. Like, there's so much potential for that. You know what? Illuminate might be some ultra-powerful cosmic being, but they have nothing against 5x23mm caseless, let me tell you. This SMG, okay, I was going to say it's tearing through them. It doesn't tear through the armored guys, but the weaker ones, like butter. Dude, the laser on this as well. Oh my god, when you actually see it in the darkness, that's so cool. Using the iron sights on this feels, again, like the SMG, it feels weirdly right. I mean, the reload animation as well, the third person one in particular, where you flick the mag out, looks dope, but dude, we have been deprived of a tactical ODST shooter now for, well, for literally ever. This is the closest that we've gotten. This feels more tactical than actual ODST does. Not very tactical, of course, because it is Helldivers, and we are about to call in a 500kg bomb, but it feels closer to what I want. Okay, it's time to call in a 500kg bomb. This is the kind of thing that I imagine the UNSC used on Far Isle, except probably even more powerful somehow. Wait for this bad boy. This is what ODSTs are meant to do. Look at that walkaway shot, dude. Look at that badass walkaway shot. Dude, running around what is literally now New Alexandria in Helldivers as an ODST doesn't even feel real. Like, this feels still way too pipe dreamy. Just how whisper quiet this thing is and how powerful it is at the same time. This feels so perfect, man. Okay, the final harvester. I say whip out the, bit of a different universe, but the Hammer of Dawn for this bad boy. Go, Hammer of Dawn. Do this ODST's bidding. What a strange crossover, man. ODSTs in Helldivers using what is essentially the Hammer of Dawn. Man, this game is so cinematic, dude. Having ODSTs in this kind of ultra naturally cinematic setting feels so good. See, that's the exact vibe that I imagine some ODSTs have. I want to see that more. Now that is what Oni did to Far Isle. Jesus Christ. But the Helljumper armor isn't the only set of armor distributed to the obedient democracy support troopers. No. The A35 Recon armor is a sleeker, stealthier alternative, complete with the iconic Recon helmet. The armor itself is modelled after an iconic intelligence officer, in fact the pseudo-commander of Alpha 9, Oni agent Veronica Dare, and as such, it's complete with the Eye of the Clandestine Cape, brandishing the all-seeing eye of the Office of Naval Intelligence and wrapping its wearer in secrecy, allowing them to slip away from the light and fight from the shadows, in keeping with the officer's modus operandi. But the ODSTs don't just use their own weaponry. Anything designed by the weaponsmiths of Super Earth is good enough for the ODSTs, and there is no greater example of an iconic standard-issue rifle than the MA5C assault rifle. The definition of reliable, and having taken down countless aliens hellbent on wiping out humanity already, the MA5C's sights are now turned on the enemies of managed democracy. Complete with an ammo counter and inbuilt compass, this 750 RPM 308 monster is the ultimate bane of any alien bastard daring enough to stand between the ODSTs and enforced freedom. Okay, now it's time for our second deployment and the second loadout of the video, which is going to be, as you can see, the full recon/dare look with an MA5C. Now, Dare, for some reason, has been deployed to what is essentially Space Vietnam, so let's waste no more time and dive in. So, here we are, Space Vietnam. Veronica Dare on her newest mission, armed with an MA5C, very iconic assault rifle, as you all know. I think 308 is probably going to be enough to deal with the bugs, but we'll see. As we all know, though, Veronica Dare's most iconic weapon was hands down the SOCOM, of course, so we gotta use that for a little bit when we're kind of cosplaying as Dare. It would only be right. Something about using this in like a Nam-style jungle feels very fitting as well. But of course, the main show we're here for is the assault rifle, and I've got something very cool to show you guys, actually. Watch this. So in first person, the reload even has, wait for it, the HK slap. Arrowhead even kept the HK slap on the AR's reload when he dropped the bolt. Dude, Arrowhead literally thought of everything. They kept the kanji on the SOCOM. They kept the HK slap on the MA5C. They know Halo. If they made a Halo game, man, oh my god, we would be so back. We would be levels of back that we may never experience normally. A guy can dream. Whoa, okay. I think Dare's legs might be broken, but I'm sure the Mjolnir, or I guess half Mjolnir, will help with that. Man, that laser in the nighttime jungle. Whew. That is such a vibe. Okay, you know what? Let's drop another Havoc tactical nuke on a bug nest. Those poor bugs don't know what's about to hit them. Far-Owl treatment in 3, 2, 1, bang. There you go. Bugs getting the same treatment as Far-Owl, baby. Another day in the life of an Oni officer covered in blood. How fitting. Remember, switching to your pistol is always faster than reloading. And when it's a SOCOM, it is definitely faster. This bad boy is shredding the bugs. Even the armored ones, man. Holy Christ. Look at that. I forget the rounds this is chambered in. I think it's technically like a pistol caliber 50 cal. But man, for such a quiet sounding gun, this thing does way more damage than it did in ODST, let me put it that way. Okay, raising the missile. This is another missile destined for Far-Owl, I assume. This thing feels really accurate in first person. Way more accurate than it ever was in Halo, let's put it that way. Especially the MA5C, which is not exactly known for having the greatest range. Missile destined for Far-Owl has been launched. Now let's evac. Another day in the life of Veronica Dare doing Oni's dirty work. You'll love to see it. Okay, yeah, that's definitely a certified Far-Owl moment. What's that? Is that a forklift I see? God damn, dude. If we were in New Alexandria, that forklift would be an absolute vital asset. But thankfully, we're in Space Vietnam. So the forklift, it doesn't matter. Man, that animation is clean. The full reload. God damn, that is a very nice animation. Using this thing as like an actual pistol, not in like a Halo style of gameplay, feels very, very cool. Like I said before with the SMG, I wouldn't want this in a main Halo game, but seeing it like this in a different game is so sick. We are in dire need of that tactical ODST game, man. But this next one, a personal favourite of mine, is one that the ODSTs like to keep for close quarters. After 15 years of neglect and abandonment, the true king of shotguns makes its grand return to spread freedom and liberty across the stars. Yes, that's right, the iconic 8-gauge M90A shotgun is back, and boy does it mean business. Coming with rather heavy kick thanks to the 8-gauge shells that it chambers, and also a side-mounted flashlight so you can see the fear in your enemy's eyes before you teach them a valuable lesson about liberty, the M90A is the ultimate hell jumper and hell diver back pocket boomstick. Okay, so our final deployment and final loadout is that of an ODST who likes to keep something special for close quarters. We're rocking the recon body with the ODST helmet and none other than the M90A shotgun. Let's deploy. Okay, and our final deployment is to a rather spooky wood/forest, shall we say. Armed with none other than the iconic M90A, which, yes, has iron sights, which... Using these iron sights right now, this feels illegal in such a good way. I can't even describe it. Anyway, this bad boy is kept for close quarters, so let's go do some killing. Okay, and I gotta say, this map has a real Halo 2 backwash vibe. Real Halo 2 backwash vibe. We are fighting... I mean, this is a very loose association, but we are fighting Helldivers' version of the Prometheans, which doesn't really fit backwash in Halo 2, but either way, man, look at this M90 tearing through them. Look how satisfying this thing is, man. Like, man, why was this thing ever taken out of Halo? I don't understand why they haven't brought the actual classic Halo shotgun back. We got it in Helldivers before we got it in a modern Halo game, man. You know, one of my favorite things about it as well is how in keeping the animations are with Halo. Like, the standard reload, of course, is top-loaded. When you do a full reload, it's like an actual real-life reload where you put a shell in the chamber, and then you load the tube as well, which is a nice little modern flair to the animation. It still feels unequivocally like the Halo shotgun, just with a nice little modern twist. Man, I'm not gonna lie, the bots seem kind of scary. I kind of wish the Prometheans had this level of, like, I don't know, I guess horror? Because the bots in this game have this very creepy, almost like, I don't know, evil look, but in a scary way. Not evil in like a corny way. Evil in like a genuinely intimidating way. And good God, this ODST really does like to keep it for close quarters because he is invincible. Dude, literally nothing can stand the 8-gauge shells of this. Even that big boy. You know what's cool as well? This thing even has range. Look at that. It keeps the range of the Halo 1 shotgun, which was, I believe, just a regular M90, but it's got the style and the flashlight on the side of Halo 3's M90A. Yeah, look at this range. Bang. Automaton down. Automaton down. Automaton. That's how the shotgun should be in Halo. It should have that range. Maybe not that level of power at that range, but it should absolutely have that range. Look at that, man. It's like it's firing slugs. I don't think it's firing buckshot. I'm pretty sure this thing's firing slugs. To have that level of accuracy at that range. Ow. That hurt. Okay, Hellbomb arm. Time to flee the area. You can do some, like, real Max Payne / John Woo style moves in this game as well. The backwards dive with the M90. Bro. Dude. Tell me. Oh my God. Tell me that isn't sick. With the explosion in the background. God, the death effects on the bots with the shotgun are unfathomably satisfying. Seeing all the oil coming out of them as I'm firing, with the top loading animation, man, as well. I will just never get tired of that. We should have never lost this shotgun design. Man, tell me a blood-soaked ODST walking through a foggy forest like this with a shotgun isn't the coolest thing you've ever seen. How can you not want something like this in an official Halo game, man? The vibe of this game, when combined with ODSTs, is just, like, unfathomable, man. It's just perfect. It really is perfect. So, that is the Halo Helldivers collab in all of its glory. All the weapons, all the armor, and what little lore they added with it as well. I did like how they managed to intertwine the Helldivers universe, or rather the ODSTs, in with the Helldivers universe. I thought that was a pretty cool touch, albeit light on the lore, but still very, very cool. As I said earlier, there were 2 codes hidden throughout this video. If you found them, then congrats. If not, then get scrubbing back through the video and looking for them, because I can promise you, they're hidden in there somewhere. So, with that said, let's round this one out there. I want to give a massive thank you to Chairman Marcus for becoming a new iconic one over on Patreon. My guy, thank you very, very much. And also, I gotta say, what an iconic video for you to become an iconic one during. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. And of course, to everyone else who supports me over there, as per usual, thank you all so much. And thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And get out there and save New Alexandria for real this time.